Hey everybody, this is Dustin with the weekly office hours. We're going to be talking about Autotask. So again, Dustin Puryear, Giant Rocketship. And what I want to talk about today is a question that I saw that came up about, the question was, and actually I saw this on Reddit, was how do I have it to where project tasks automatically show up in my Outlook? And so the question wasn't super detailed, but basically what I think they were asking was how, if you put start and end times on your project task, how can those start and end times automatically show up in your Outlook? So I wrote a quick blog about that, but I want to go over your three main options. So the first option is, of course, that you can just manually um, create those entries in your Outlook. Obviously, that's going to take the longest. The other option is going to be to use service calls in Autotask along with the Exchange integration that comes with Autotask. And the last option is to use a third-party tool like Zapier, which is actually more complicated. I wouldn't recommend that. What you really should be doing is using the integration with Autotask to make this work. And I'm going to walk through that process real quick. So in Autotask, what we're going to first make sure is configured is the integration with Exchange. And I'm not going to go through all of the settings because this is a demo account, so we can't integrate that with our corporate Exchange. But basically, you're going to go through the process under Microsoft Extensions and then Microsoft Exchange. You can set up your connections with Azure. And then from there, you're going to select the resources that have an integrated or a synchronized calendar. Now, the important thing to note is that when you enable the synchronization, there's multiple things that can come into and out of Autotask with that. And for your user, and it's not enabled, so it's not going to show it here, but for your user, they can select, and you can select this for them as well as the administrator, whether or not Outlook appointments come into Autotask. And for the other direction, if the Autotask service calls go out to the Outlook calendar. Now, with the Outlook calendar integration, be aware that if you have a lot of service calls, that can really overwhelm your Outlook calendar. If you're using Rocketship, it's going to automatically manage that and ensure that you have gaps in there if you use a third-party tool like TimesUs and other tools. But if you're doing it manually, you want to make sure you're not creating service calls that clobber your Outlook calendar. That's the second option. The third option, of course, is that third-party tool like Zapier or even a custom API tool that you write. The problem you're going to have there is, particularly with Zapier, it can get very expensive if you have a lot of changes happening in Autotask, because you're typically going to be charged by the transaction in a tool like Zapier. And if you're making a ton of changes, that can dramatically impact your billing. So something to think about. Anyways, those are three best ways that you can get project tasks and the work for those onto your Outlook calendar. I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Shoot me an email at Dustin@giantrocketship.com. Thank you. Bye.